Yeah.
So, good evening everyone and welcome again to our slam poetry night. So in order to kick off our slam poetry, I'd like to share with you my piece. But in order to properly share this piece, I'd like you to all to imagine something first. So, imagine you're at your bed and you're getting ready to go to sleep, but please don't go to sleep right now. You can save it for tomorrow. Um, Kidding aside, I'd like you to imagine that you're about to enter the dream world. You're about to walk into Wonderland and seeing all the things you love about life, all the things you hate about it, all the things you want to express. And that is the kind of art that we're going to be experiencing tonight. So, the title of my poem tonight is actually something that probably a lot of kids, teens, adults alike experience probably the same way. And it's entitled LDR. Okay. There are nights when I'd never be quite beside myself and sleep without a blindfold. It hugs my head and blankets my irises with iridescent black, that I could escape into my dreams and feel your gentle breathing caressing my neck. Those are the nights when I can feel the shadow of your embrace as we lay, my mouth to your forehead and your lips a bright red canopy, aligning the contours of my collarbone, descending, dripping like soft dew on the edge of a leaf blade, locking in perfectly a minty aroma and whispering love, like the dial phones in those old romantic movies. You always knew when it was too much or too little, and the soothsayer left my tongue to return, saying, "That's one of the things I love about you." The black and whiteness, it's a comfort, but a blink, and peeling my sodden eyes to see that you aren't there, that your curls aren't perched on my arm, like roots digging into all of my nerves to feel all of you, bathing me in your dreams, and at least as my eyes shut, gleam from the lingering blue screens, at least in my dreams, I don't always have to miss you. We once rode the shuttle until we touched the curves of the globe. The astronaut rode a monochromatic satellite, astride the shooting star, whooshing past to wave us. A cotton candy nebula lined your teeth, and the crystal green sky you wore on your waist stole the northern light flare and embroidered it on the silky lines of your dress. Under moonlight, you were all I saw, where a crescent was laden between cream-puffed cheeks and rose, streaked, scintillated, and I called it the endless smile. You and I, we were afloat on a borderless canvas, where blots of ink and neon scattered beneath us, and we would dip our big toes into the galaxy. I looked down at the palm of my hand where 5 pastel white streaks, only as long as they would reach my finger joints, clasped like they were made to fit in the space between my fingers perfectly. That was the first time I held your hand. My stomach didn't feel as fluttery as others said it would, my mind didn't burst quite as wide, but we were a moon rock, belted, stalwart, infinite, and found that as far as I could drift into the sheer cold or drove back into the atmosphere, you always anchored me, limitless, as we kept searching for paradise. And on Earth, on the lanes where Helios gardens his orchard, where his mighty figure silhouetted us, arms outstretched in a phalanx that scattered the sunlight, where once in a year sunflowers donned an array of Midas petals. And drawn in by the golden touch, the photographs weaved together, another treasure, another memory. It was you and I, in a paragon where time was neither stone as gold or gold as your tennis ball eyes. And the bees beat the butterflies to their nectar, buzzing not to be slammed by the end pages of the book, or stung by a shot of ignorance, but simply this, that that moment wouldn't end. That like the oxygen rising for our hot air balloon, I could take you higher, further, breathe life onto your wing beats so that we could chase the sun on the 6 o'clock horizon and with our kaleidoscope eyes, watch it eternally set. 365 days. It's been 365 since your sun crossed my moon. 365 days of walking every mighty mile. 365 strips, memoirs, constant ephemerals. 365 wishing to count your 7 I love yous. And a bullseye hovering just across the starry expanse beneath our dream souls, hoping you were constantly happy, constantly deeper, never sorry, never remorseful, constantly in love. And even in my azure screens, the solace that soothes my soothsaying tongue, prods me to say that you are never too far away. To feel you there, to feel you move, and even with my blindfold on, the arrow would never miss the bullseye. That as I say my 7 I love yous, that at least as the clouds would shoulder all of our dreams, that at least in my waking reality, I don't always have to miss you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, literally hi. A bit of a disclaimer. I am going to be performing a love poem, but it's not a romantic poem. I've been fortunate enough to have parents who love to travel, and I've been fortunate enough to travel with them. And sometimes I go to a place, and after 5 days, we have to go home, and I don't really want to go back. And this is a poem about that, and it has a song in it. It's called The Parting Glass. It's an old Irish song. And I'm not very good of a singer, but I hope you like it. This song, sorry, not this song. This poem is called Gravity. Of all the money that e'er I've had, I spent it in good company. But I'm beginning to forget what it felt like to keep your company, to watch the light stumble across the folds of your shirt before kissing the soft dirt beneath your feet. That afternoon, you convinced me that my short legs were still long enough to mountain climb big oak trees, and you, elf nimble, helped a city girl up, climbed. I'm beginning to forget what it felt like to hear you sing your prayers when you think no one is listening, and for better or for worse, I can already feel my rib cage growing outwards, growing to wrap my bones around your shoulders, fitting around them the way button-down dress shirts are supposed to fit just right. During back alley dinners and side streets and 3 a.m. walks before you summer months leave me again, too fast for me to follow. You leave abruptly, and I always wish, like all the sweethearts that e'er you've had, I wish you one more day to stay that day. Airplane wings stole you to meet the sky again. I always knew the sun wanted you by his side. You have a way of helping people find their center of gravity. And I'm sorry, I never learned how to be yours. I'm sorry, you never had a reason not to leave. You taught my feet how to touch the ground again after months of cloud hopping. This is the theory of everything. You were my center of gravity is the magnetic field pull of an object suspended in space. I wonder if stability still exists if you pluck that object out of place, and this is the theory of everything. Gravity is the wide Pacific Ocean spread between our palms. It is me, wishing I could cross rivers to a city called Portland in Oregon, where we would meet again and sell typewriter poems on one of Hawthorne's side streets and walk division with bare feet still damp from braving the spring cold water of Oneonta Gorge. These places with strange names mean everything to me. And to memory now I can't recall what you are supposed to look like 7 years down the line. But if I ever learnt what love was supposed to look like, I want it to be chiseled out of memories of you are always the one to waterfall crash into me. This is the theory of everything. Say you're in love with me. Teach me how to find my center of gravity again. Teach me how to riverboat sail across oceans and straits to find you again with your arms wide open. I wish you would ribcage grow around me, engulf me into the folds of your shirt before our feet kiss the dirt again, hit the ground again. That day you airplane left me, I lost my footing and tried to balance on 2 left feet. I knew Stephen Hawking missed something. The theory of everything already exists. The theory of everything is here. Glaringly obvious, the core of the earth, your hand, magnetic kite string pulling me back to your side again, and me, comet crashing into your gravitational field again, but neither of us are oak tree stable. Right now, I can't seem to shovel dig deep roots into orchard-rich soil, so I'll orbit some other sun, wander galaxies, until we eclipse and intersect again momentarily, and you, magnetic kite string, pull me back to your side again, but now I am sorry. I never had a reason not to leave you. So fill to me the parting glass and drink our health, whate'er before. We, will moon and stars inhabit the same sky, same nebula. We will keep climbing big oak trees until we have money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while. Until then, I count the days I rise and the days I am falling. Come, fill to me the parting glass and drink our health, whate'er befalls. I will gently rise and softly call until we, magnetic kite string tug, find our way back home again. Thank you.
First off, shout out to my family at the back. This poem, currently untitled, is also inspired by a song, but this is a Scottish song. Okay, this is from a rock band from Scotland. I stroll, one foot at a time. They become lighter and lighter as I push my legs against the water's pull. The pristine blue, hitting my knees, they wash my memories away. I follow my brothers to shore. Familiarity, a great relaxant. And I stop, reaching land. Emerging from the cold nests, we are born again, greeted by the embrace of the tropical sun. My chest explodes with excitement of something new. A smile creeps into the corners of my mouth, my fingers fidgeting. I inhale, calm and cool. The smell of salt is as strong as the sticky residue it leaves my face with. A gentle breeze forces palm tree leaves to sway, and the plant lets it, for it knows when to bow and follow. It does not concern itself about rules, about morality. There's no use to resist, and so it doesn't. I stand, looking upon the horizon. The sand beneath our feet sparkles like glitter, a perfect backdrop to the pictures we'll paint in blood splatters that will mimic the kisses that give to the flawless skin of our wives back home. We are a group of artists about to create a masterpiece with our swords. I listen to the sounds of waves crashing. A round of applause for the brave, the rumble of chaos, the strength it resonates, a preview to the songs of metal on metal and metal on flesh, accompanied by the harmonious screams of anguish, of torment, of death among fallen men, a personal orchestra to honor our victory. I walk with my comrades. We crush the delicate seashells with our boots, aggravated by the pressure from the weight of our weapons on our backs, anchors we are willing to carry. And I take one last look at the ocean shore. The line that divides the earth and the sea is but a flimsy film of sea foam. The water is stubborn and devours the crystal sand. Semper Fi, my brothers shout, and I leave the beach behind. Facing forward, we march. We raise our fist in the air, we sing. All in the name and glory of war.
My first crush
Was in the 4th grade.
was in first year high school.
He was one of the boys at the back, had that crass humor that I always liked, but he was also the shy one of the group, allowing for some mystique.
Someone familiar, cute, kind, funny, with the same interests as me. We both like science.
You like that chemistry?
Maybe. I'd like to think so. Because who would think otherwise? We spent nights in chat boxes and SMS, sending smiling emojis and sweet comments.
To earn this boy's attention had become my priority. Like so many leading ladies and rom-coms on TV, I knew I was not the prettiest, but I could make up for it by being the sharpest, the smartest, that maybe, if I excel in academics, his innocent eyes might notice.
I did the exact opposite. I put my guard up, rejected every little blossoming thing, resorted to totally avoiding. It's for the best, I'm sure. No pains to endure.
I fed on hope. His creamy skin, his supple lips, this hope energized, catalyzed, pushed me to my maximum. I had become obsessed about being the best. I had never felt so much power.
I'm just afraid to be rejected and judged based on my physique, to be seen with admiration, to have to impress others just to be noticed, and to notice in return.
I had learned early as age 10, how addicting it is to find inspiration.
When you've got a heartbroken sister for a role model, and she'd always end up crying like hell, I'm sure you'll get my perspective. And you'll learn to be protective, defensive. I learned from her mistakes that feelings aren't something you put at stake.
But love is not for the faint of heart. It never has been. It never promised to be. Love is anguish. It's the acquired taste for thrills. It is like diving into an abyss, except
that lump on your throat before the big jump never goes away.
The throbbing in your chest, a rhythm, an alarm, a constant reminder of being alive, preparing you for the action, for the hunt, for the chase. You marinate in the triumphs and tragedies of the game. Love is exhaustion while sitting still.
I get your point. Maybe love isn't really for the faint of heart. But more so, love isn't just for the thrills, the chase, the excitement. Love is beyond the I love yous and the sweet parts. Love is simply contentment. It's accepting the reality that you will end up at some point or another bored, fed up, tired, but still choosing to continue because you know, no matter what, it's him and you. When the colors fade to black and white,
Still manage to strike the light.
and look for the rainbows after the fight. Tell me, how many lovers have you had?
None.
Then you know nothing of love.